Alright, Babber.
Hello folks, welcome back to Pillars of Eternity, where I've been running back through the dungeon because I gave it another couple of tries to see if I could defeat Theos, and I was struggling every time the party died, and so I thought what I'll do, I checked out a few forums and had a look at a few posts, and it's a tough fight, you know, and people have defeated it on you know, really hard difficulties, and I'm not that hardcore of a player, you know. That's not me. I like to get through the story. So I've done a kind of cheat. It's not a cheat. I haven't put on God mode or anything like that. What I did do was lower it down to story mode. But then it turns out that story mode only activates on a map you've never been to before. So I've just had to run all the way back through the dungeon again. So, the map's pretty clear anyway. So, but there we go. So, I'm going to try and defeat Theos on story mode. I haven't tried it on story mode yet. I will probably still get my ass kicked. But we'll give it a try and see. Now, I've just noticed Edo got something to say.
Doesn't that just be
yeah, we've had this discussion, mate. No point in wondering about what we don't know.
About him going to me.
You guys can pause this lot.
By the time I'd cooled off, months had passed.
Yeah,
I hope that wasn't it.
yeah,
I'd have left.
yeah.
And
let's move on. Okay, right.
Hey.
So let's see if we can defeat Theos and his two buddies. Now, apparently what we need to do as well is when we get Theos down to half health and he goes into meditation, we need to watch which one of these his soul goes into and defeat the other one. And then defeat the one that his soul is in. So, right, let's do a quick save. Let's see how we go. Let's see how we go. Right, we've all just leveled up. That's the other thing. Apparently, really, to take on this last fight on normal difficulty, we should be level 12. And all we've done, we've just hit level 10. So, you know, we're a little underleveled for it as well. Now, defensive. I chose something for you, didn't I, for defensive? Unstoppable. That's the puppy. Let's stick with our same choices we did last time. Gabby, you're going to go athletics. And that'll do. And you're going to not have critical focus. There was a marksman, gunner, no. Two-handed style, extra damage. That's what we were doing for you. And here of RCRs. Come on, right. Come on, right. There we go. Don't sing Gary Glitter, Mr. Babber. Don't sing Gary Glitter. That's not a good thing. Greater Wild. Do you know what? I'm going to go for a bonus 4th level spell this time. I don't know what that Wild Strike Freeze does, but we're not using it. So tough. So, Kana. Let's have a look at you. Now, your law is maxed out, so let's go athletics. That's the second wind, isn't it? So that's fine. And we were going to go, or we did go with freeze damage, didn't we? But what I'm going to do is go revive, just in case. That would have been a very good idea last time, I think. Marksman or gunner? Ooh, reload speed. That'll do. Let's go for some reload speed with your gun. Right. Sagani. Sagani, you can go athletics. And you can go brutal takedown. Didn't we do that last time and I didn't use it? Oh no, we went for the direct damage reduction bypass, didn't we? I think we'll go 30% extra damage this time. And Mother, you can go athletics next. And I reckon borrowed instinct didn't do much good. Mind lance, piercing damage. Apparently those statues are quite susceptible to piercing, so we'll take it. The Cypher's psychic backlash. I don't know what we're going to do with that. But anyway, right, we are all leveled up.
Hey.
Let's do another quick save. And let's push this 4E forward. Let's push this 4E forward. Indeedy do. Let's see if we can defeat Mr. Theos and finish this section. I'm assuming this is the end of the game, but it might not be. Yes, yes. What is this place? Was over blah 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 blah. We've all seen this before now, couple of times. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Lovely jubbly. Come on, knock me down and I'll get back up again, because we like Chumbawamba. At least that one track anyway. Come on. Come on.
Where did you find it?
Oh, here we go. I'm not here to talk. There we go. Right. Now, everything... There we go. I thought I was going to say everything is stuck. But we were just preparing. We've talked to him enough times. Right. So the first thing we've got to do... Right. Is get up and pause. Right. Now... He does a lot of AoE. Right. Ida, straight in there. Gabby, also straight in there. And Itumak, also straight in there. Itumak, knock him down. Gabby, let's save these. Let's save these. Right. You three are done. Hiravas, over here. Kana, over here. Sagani, over here. And Grieving Mother over here. Let's get that done first. Right. There we go. Right. Now. Hiravasias. Let's start with your high level spells, right? Let's do a Firebug. Deflection. We don't know their deflection, we know his. So let's start. Ooh, a Wall of Thorns. Piercing damage. I'm liking piercing damage. But what I want to do is bring that piercing damage over to you and you. That's not gonna work, is it? Alright, don't worry about it then. We'll consider it later. A Plague of Insects. Let's go with Firebug. Let's just start with Firebug there. Kana, you're still moving, but that'll do. I didn't give you any spells, did I? Right. Let's Sunscorch. Let's just shoot him, because we've got him 2 bubs down. Being on story mode should help. Let's mark him for prey. And Mother, just attack him. Right, let's see what happens. Right. He's going into that one. He's gone into that one. So what we need to do is switch targets into this one. And you 4 into this one. Right. Gabby, you need to get some endurance back. Gain some endurance off this fella. Itumak, you're alright for a minute. Hiravasias, I tell you what, Ida, knock this bugger down. Hiravasias, petrifying and inflicting slash damage. What we want is piercing damage. Do you know what? Let's just piercing damage. Is that going to get me? I think that might get me. Let's just piercing damage you there. Let's just do that. And then Kana, you can sunbeam this mofo. And Sagani, you can crippling shot him. Not that it'll do any good. And Mother, you can try and detonate him. Let's see how we go. Let's see how we go. Okay. Alright. Piercing damage. He's immune to something. What's he doing? Don't know. Maybe healing. Right. Gabby, you should be getting back endurance. Let's set that off on you as well. Are you stuck or something at the moment? No. Lord's Authority. Heravasias. Cleansing Wind. Healing the endurance of allies and pushing back enemies. I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. Let's do that. Let's see if we can get Gabby back up to normal health. Sagani. Wounding shot. Okay, that's fine. Who else is not doing stuff? Ida. Try and knock him down, fella. It's very, very loud. Come on, Gabby. Healing wind, healing wind. Right. Heravasias. You might have to moonwell us up as well. Around here. About there. Right, is he down? Is that one down? I think it's that one down. Right, you three on there. Heravas. Come round this way. Sagani and Kana. This is much easier. Story mode has made a massive difference. An absolutely massive difference. Alright, we're prone. Right, Heravasias. Healing well. About here, mate.
Yeah.
Come on. Have you cast yet? Yes, you have, bugger. There we go. Right, let's get Gabby back up. Right, now, Heravasias. Piercing. Pierce damage. Nice. Do it. Do it. Do it, I tell thee. Oh, nice. Yes, while he's down, while he's down. Mother, okay, you just carry on. Sagani, you just hobble him if you can. Bit of a wounding shot. Kana, you're up to 5 chance. Rise again. We're alright for that this time. So I reckon paralyzes enemies in the area of effect. Kana, I need you to move up a little bit. Oh, do you know what? Just move up to there a little bit. That'll do. Right. Paralyze. Let's see if that works. Heravasias. Another world's more. Just because you can. Let's do it there. See if we can get Theos as well. Gabby, now you can flaming strike. And Ida, you carry on as you are. There we go. Right. Now we need to spread out again because Theos does like his AoEs. Kana, down this way. You three, straight onto Theos. You're not moving. You can go straight onto Theos. Sagani can also go straight onto Theos. And Sagani can wounding shot this bugger. Right. Let's try it and see. Itsumak, come on. See if you can knock him down, mate. Oh, we've panicked. We've panicked. Come on, Itsumak. Come on. Oh, that's a big hit. Is he going to go down anyway? Get off. Right. What are your things? Reflex. You're low on reflex. Defended by reflex. That'll do to start with. What else have we got that's reflex? Do you know what? Let's just call the world's maw. Do you know what? You move back a bit. Mother, you move back a bit. There we go. Right, now, here are Varsias. I'm changing my mind. Calling the world's maw. That'll do. Gabby and Ida have been affected. Why won't Itumak move anywhere? He's got 3 things on him that are not listed. So I think he's going to die any second. Which is a shame. Did that work? Did that do anything? Here are Varsiars. Oh, hello, we're back in the fight. You and you. You can flaming sword Theos. And we should chuck these out as well, just for some boosts. Here are Varsias. Do another world's maw. Just because you can. Sagani is still shooting. Rootin' tootin' shooting. Kana. You are up to 3 chance. What have we got that might do any good? Do you know what? Sunbeam the bugger. That'll do. That'll do. Lovely. You get attacking. That's it. That's it. I think we got him. Do you know what? That did feel a bit like cheating because it was really easy. But we've got past him. Let us finish off this story. At your feet rests the body of Theos, hollow. The dense wrinkles shaped by the silent shouldering of an eternal burden now smoothed across his colour-drained face. His soul remains still for the moment, defenceless, its energy expended in defeat. It lies sprawled across his body for a death, like a death shroud. I can't even read.
All those lifetimes spent to preserve a single vital secret. I can't imagine having that much certainty.
Oh, I know what you're saying, Kana. I know what you're saying. That's why he was evil.
I hope this is the end, but what's to stop him from being born again with the same ill intent?
Can't I?
Before you suggest the option, no. I'm not eating his soul.
No, but I
I
can.
put almost anything in my mouth, but not that.
Well, Hiravas, you're a good friend to know if you'll do things like that.
After journeying for lifetimes, I can't imagine his failure, knowing it was all for nothing.
Well, that's because we kind of cheated in a way. I think I probably should have just lowered it down by 1 difficulty. I was on normal, but
he was good at serving.
What's done is done.
That. He should have picked a better one.
He should have picked a better one, Ida. You've always got the good words to say. I like you. Explore his soul. With a deep breath, you plunge into Theos' soul, and where in Brackenbury it had been a maze of narrow corridors and dead ends, now it is expansive and borderless, its walls crumbling into heaps like the ruins of Engwith as you pass through them. You travel for what seems like ages, rushing to a known destination, a memory you glimpsed once before. At last you see it, no more than a pinprick of light at the end of a long tunnel, expanding slowly at first, then quickly as you near. You come out in the room you are standing in now, but it is new and pristine and filled with people, thousands of them, all turned towards the great Adra pillar and the machine that encases it. Theos stands at the machine and you are one with him now. You look out at the crowd, at the faces of shriveled old men and cherub-cheeked little girls, at mothers bouncing infants to quiet them and fathers clasping their children's restless hands and watching you with sombre acceptance. A woman with tears in her eyes gives you a small nod. You turn back towards the machine, your breaths constricted beneath the weight of unwanted knowledge, preparing yourself to set out alone on a journey without end. You close your eyes and open them again to find the machine still in front of you, beckoning. You take your place in front of it and place your hands upon a large mechanical disc at the base of the great crystal column and speak a single word. Giant rings creak to life, building speed, each setting arrays of carved draconic mouths aglow and sending tremors through the platform beneath you. The entire room shakes now with the force of the accelerating machine, all sound drowned out by its deep, deafening thrum. Brilliant tendrils of light arc outward from the pillar in all directions, and you look over your shoulder to see them engulfing the crowd, burning them brightly like hot iron. One by one the tendrils disappear, leaving ashen effigies where people once stood, many of them disintegrating into grey heaps under the stress of the tremors. You look above to the Aedra pillar, and a glowing spherical mass has begun to coalesce atop the column where the arcs converge. It grows and pulses, translucent and bulbous like some immense chrysalis, suspended in slow rotation as though it were being spun from the arcs of light. When the last arc disappears, the spectral mass hangs a moment, no longer rotating so bright you must shield your eyes with an outstretched hand, and it seems to you as though it is looking at you. You bow your head in acknowledgement and look back up to see it melt into the pillar like warm candle wax. The pillar flares with a flash of light, bright as the sun itself, then fades to darkness. The machine slows down to an abrupt halt, and when the last echo of its grinding cogs has passed, the chamber is still, and you are alone. From all sides reality begins to bleed in through the memory, and you find yourself in your own skin once more, looking down on Theos's lifeless body. You sense a listlessness to Theos's soul, an overwhelming fatigue that hinders its immediate escape and makes it vulnerable to manipulation. You feel as though your victory has given you some kind of hold over it, and you are able to do with it as you please. I can return it to the Psychor. You will remember this, Theos. Remember that no man can hide the truth forever, and all you've done was in futility. Tear his soul apart, I do not envy you. Banish his soul, destroy all memories, or tear his soul apart. You cause me great suffering, you do not deserve to exist. Banish his soul. Theos Ixarcanon, there can be no forgiveness for your deeds, only justice. You shall escape judgment no longer. I think we go with that. I don't want to destroy his memories. I want him to know what he's suffered. You regard Theos' soul still and subdued, and your pronouncement seems to empower your spirit. Your will seems to you now a thick chain, and you wind it around Theos, constraining all movement, eliminating any possible last means of resistance. You call to mind the eternal prison, not your mind, the mind, to mind. The vast empty cavern and its cells of Aedra, vacated by souls that chose to betray themselves in order to escape an infinite abyss of hopeless self-reflection. You choose a vacant pillar and pour your consciousness into it, creating a perfect, inescapable hollow with space for one. And now you gather up Theos' soul and bear it into the pillar like some bodiless jailer, conjured by justice itself. You can feel its resistance now, the abject terror radiating from it, but your bindings will not be broken. When at last it is sealed away and you begin to recede back to your centre, you could almost swear you hear a distant, wordless cry for mercy. In the stillness that follows, a single word echoes through your mind, a word you spoke when you were one with Theos in an ancient memory. You realise it is the word that activates the machine. Oh, there we go, Theos. Ta-ta, mate. Nice knowing ya. Woodush, woodush. Ah, those were the souls that spoke to us on the way in. Done. Well.
Hey.
This is the machine. Alright, let's go and see what's going on with the machine. We need to switch it off, I guess. With your companions bearing witness, you step up to the place where Theos once stood before his people long ago. This great machine lies in front of you, idle, ready. You have seen this machine and others like it in operation. You understand how it works. It is a device for directing souls. As a watcher, it would be a simple matter to influence that direction, though as big as the machine is, it may be the last thing you ever do. Well, let's activate it. Let's do this. There is a shrieking of stone grinding against stone as old cogs loosen and begin to turn. You have only moments before the souls will be sent into the Aedra vein. This will be your only chance at redirecting them. Wow, we can send them back into the reincarnation cycle. We can return them to the bodies they were intended for. That seems fair. I can disintegrate the souls entropically, ending their existence, or distribute the essence to the existing souls in Durwood to strengthen them. I reckon it's either number 2 or number 1, and I'm leaning towards number 2. Return the souls to the bodies they were intended for. You close your eyes and expand your perception outward, taking in the immense totality of the tens of thousands of souls orbiting the chamber. Your grasp on the souls is tenuous. You find yourself fighting to keep them all within your influence, and you feel them slipping away from you as the machine gains speed. A brief moment comes when it feels as though you hold all of them at once, and their force is so great it feels as though they will tear you apart. In that moment, you dedicate your entire being to bending their orbit, channeling their flow in a new direction. Boom!
At your command, the ancient device became your instrument, spinning to life with deafening resonance and gathering up the swirling essence like thread on a great spindle. There, in the pale pulsing glow of the machine that set you on this path long ago, you summoned all your strength, focusing on your objective and blocking out all else. With a single concussive blast that rocked the chamber and sent you tumbling to the ground, you freed the souls from their stasis.
Go me!
Exhausted, your consciousness slipping away, your last sight was of the machine, dark and dormant. Then your eyes closed, and sleep welcomed you at long
Sleep
last.
or death?
After coming to and searching
Sleep.
for some time, you
All right.
discovered the route Theos used to enter Sun in Shadow, and embarked on a long and arduous ascent back to the surface. You emerged in Ter Evron after days of tunneling through the rubble Theos had left behind, and when you stepped into the daylight, you were faced with a different Deerwood than the one you had left.
Consequences?
At your direction, the souls diverted by Theos were guided back to the vessels originally meant for them. For the first time, parents of hollow-born children woke to the cries of their infants.
Nice!
And looked into their
Nice!
eyes to see them staring back.
Go me!
People fell to their knees where they stood, thanking Helia or Mogren, or even Aethys for their forgiveness.
All
of whatever
those
guilt
gods
they felt
that
they bore.
don't exist.
But for all the relief that had come to some parents, others only found new grief. For many thousands of Hollowborn had died during Wideone's legacy, many by their parents' own hands. For those children, there would be no homecoming.
No,
Yet
I
the
understand.
last hollow birth was in the past now, and those parents willing to risk trying for a new child were frequently rewarded, often with twins.
Oh, go
Many
twins.
felt they saw Helia's hand in it, and the year would be remembered as the year of Helia's splendor.
Nice.
Followers of Bareth
Nice.
have a saying that life is a debt all must pay in death, and their god is known to always collect what is owed. In breaking your word to Bareth, a debt was created. Souls were owed to the cycle, and the agents of the god of inevitability would not be refused. An
I
epidemic
don't know
of
what to say about
unexplained
that.
deaths struck Deerwood in the days that followed the legacy. Most often, the dead would be travelers on the road, known to be a favorite target of Bareth's pallid knight, who exacts impossible tolls from those who have journeyed for too long.
We should go and kick his
The
ass.
elderly, too, seem to pass on in alarming numbers. But just as often, the deaths appeared to strike randomly, and for no reason at all. Those who sensed the involvement of the twinned god dubbed the calamity Bareth's Price, supposing it a payment for the end of Wideone's legacy.
Well,
Though you had killed Lord Radric
that's
in
how
his
they
throne
explain
room,
it away.
so strong was his drive to rid his land of Eothasians that he returned to life as a death guard, a deathless crusader for his brutal cause. With the remains
Oh
of his
yeah, I
humanity
didn't go
stripped
back and
away,
finish him off, did I?
Radric came to see all the people of Gilded Vale as worshippers of Aethys, and one day He led his forces into the village personally to see them all purged from
Oh
his
dear,
lands.
I should have gone to finish him off.
Gilded Vale was left a hollow shell, its buildings ruined,
Oops.
and its people slaughtered. Even travelers and would-be squatters knew better than to take refuge inside its borders.
Wow.
Lord Radric returned to Radric's Hold, where he remained, keeping eternal watch over his barren domain. Following the assassinations of Duke Avar Wolfgren and Lady Webb, Defiance Bay was thrown into political upheaval.
Yeah, people
In the
of power
ensuing
wanting
weeks,
to take
the
over.
streets had become the domain of looters and blackguards. Few dared to step outside their own doors alone or unarmed.
No, I've just left a trail of
But order
chaos
was soon
behind me.
re-established
Oh
by
my
the Knights
god.
of the Crucible, who, despite their depleted numbers, had gained favor in the public eye for their role in the unraveling of the conspiracy surrounding Widewind's legacy.
Nice one,
And were
Knights.
quickly reinforced by returning forces from Fleetbreaker Castle.
Well, that's something.
For the Knights, their resurgence marked a return to the tradition as well. Having seen firsthand the dangers presented by dabblers in animancy, the Order quickly abolished the practice internally.
Ah, that's a good
preferring
thing.
the familiarity of their hammers and forges to the uncertainties of Essence and Adra.
Sounds fair.
Their identity rediscovered, the Knights suppressed their political aspirations and began once again to train their recruits in the art of blacksmithing, recapturing the post-revolutionary ideals of Deerwood and regaining the respect of its citizens as a result.
It's not all doom and
Though
gloom
the
then.
machine atop Ter Noaneth had been disabled, it had not seen its last use.
Oh, hello.
Heritage Hill was rebuilt, and no sooner had the first families moved in to resettle the district than members of the Leaden Key,
Oh,
acting
dear.
under standing orders from their Grand Master, climbed the tower and reactivated the machine. The initiates slew a handful of the new settlers under cover of night and watched as history repeated itself, the victims reanimating and devouring the survivors.
Harsh.
After this second incident, the district would remain abandoned.
Well, probably for the
The Duke's
best.
assassination at the apparent hands of an animancer had caused catastrophic rioting in the streets of Defiance Bay, and few animancers survived the first day. Many Deerwoodans took the end of Widewind's legacy as a sign, both that the gods did not approve of animancy, and that the purging of animancers in Defiance Bay had been enough to satisfy them.
Yeah.
In time, their rage would subside, and a number of surviving animancers remained in and around Defiance Bay, often taking to the wilds to practice their science without repercussions.
That could
The
end
town
up bad.
of Deerford had seen the last of the cult of Scan. Dark rumors about the town's many curses quickly faded, and travelers soon returned.
Well, there's a good thing.
The fortress of Cadnua emerged as a bastion of security in the midst of an untamed land,
Yeah.
becoming the envy of every Thane and Earl in Deerwood.
Go my keep.
Legend grew over time of its impregnability, and stories of formidable invaders easily scattered by the keep's defenses became popular around the hearths of Deerwoodinians. Likewise, it also became a beacon to travelers, merchants, and visiting dignitaries alike.
Excellent.
Reputed as the finest fortress in all Deerwood, people would journey from near and distant lands alike to experience its fabled hospitality and grandeur.
Well, that's another
Adair
thing I
chose
did
not
right.
to return home to Gilded Vale. Through a number of quiet inquiries, he soon found his way into the underground organization of Aethasians known as the Night Market. Ironically, in learning that the gods had been fabricated, Adair found his faith in Aethus renewed, and that his god was neither alive nor truly a god
it's
had
Ida.
become irrelevant. He rose quickly through the ranks of the Night Market for his optimism and for his bold leadership. His ultimate goal, to make the Deerwood a place that would welcome followers of the Shining God once
Well,
again.
fair play to you, Ida.
After all that he had learned in the Watcher's company, Kanarua could no longer see meaning in his pursuit of the Tanvi Oratoa. He decided to leave what remained of it within the depths of the Endless Paths.
Oh,
and return home.
Kana.
Kana bid the Watcher farewell and sailed back to Rawatai, spending the tempestuous journey reflecting on the time he had lost to the pursuit of falsehoods.
Sorry, mate.
His family found Kana much changed.
I liked
his
you and
fiery
all.
excitement replaced with a weary solemnity. Determined to change his wandering ways, Kana took up a quiet life as a lorekeeper at the college, teaching young students the traditions of their
Well,
people.
that's not a bad thing. You're a good
With Thales
teacher.
defeated and the souls released from sun and shadow, healthy children were born once again in the Deerwood. the grieving mother sought a place where she might do penance for the birthing bell. She returned to Deerford, where, to the astonishment of the villagers, she delivered the first healthy child in over a decade.
Oh, there you go.
She
That's a
remained
good thing.
there, and with each new birth, she saw a measure of hope restored to the Deerwood, and a measure of grace
Nice.
for her own troubled past.
Good, good.
You and Sagani never found Persoc together.
No, we didn't.
The Adra figurine had gone dark by the time they emerged from Sun and Shadow, and it was another month before Sagani finally accepted that
Sorry,
Persoc's
Sagani.
trail had gone cold again. Her
Maybe
search
next
took her
time.
beyond the Deerwood and as far as the Living Lands. She saw the great coastal cities of Rawatai and the ruins of Old Valia, absorbing the details of these strange and distant lands.
And I hope you find what you're
20
looking
years
for.
passed before the Adra figurine finally glowed again. When it did, she followed its signal to a quiet hamlet on the outskirts of Adir. There, she met a young farmer and told her of her past as an elder of Masuk. Sagani returned to a village that had forgotten her face, but remembered her story. Masuk greeted her with cautious warmth, and Sagani found that their ways had become strange to her. She also learned that Kalu had perished of winter fever a few years before, and her middle child, Najuo, had died in a raid.
Oh, I'm
But
sorry.
she found her daughter Yakona a hunter and mother of 3, and her son Malak a builder of mighty
Oh,
walls.
that's good.
In them, she came to find her place in the village, and the familiar contours of a world that had changed in her absence. For you, the death of Theos brought an end to your waking visions, and a silence to the whispers of the past. In their absence,
Peace
you
at
were
last.
able to sleep.
Hooray.
The questions of a distant lifetime ceased to trouble your soul. All that remained was what to make of the answer. At the
Yes.
moment, there was little to be done, and the matter would have to wait. A long journey loomed ahead.
Oh. Boom. And we're back to the didn't even get... Oh, I was going to say, didn't even get credits. But here we go. Credits. We can speed them up a little bit. Well, what a game. I really enjoyed that. I'm not sure I completely followed the story all the way through. But, yeah. Alright, let's slow it down to, like, I don't know, ×4. You can always slow the video down if you want to check out all the names. I'm not a big credits man. I due respect to everyone that made it. Due respect to all the people that helped kickstart it. Good game. Bloody enjoyed it. Offline, I will be playing through this again another couple of times to try and get more of a gist of what's going on and see what other side quests I missed. I'm sure I missed out huge amounts of content. Please let me know in the comments what you think of the game. I enjoyed it. It was good. I like that it kind of went back to original, in inverted commas, D&D, in that you've got different weapon types and some enemies can only be hit by certain weapon types, and you've got loads of different types of characters and stuff like that. Oh, is it all going through it all again? I think it might be. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it. The White March. What am I going to do with the White March? I'm not going to jump straight into the White March. I am going to probably have a look for another game. I might spread one of my other games out over the spare days that we've got now. We'll see. I'll have a think about it. But yeah, I pretty much am more than happy to play this again, at least another couple of times with different character types, and see how I get on and see what other... Ah, there you go. Here's all the Kickstarter members. And just try and do the side quests I didn't do and stuff like that. But it's a beautiful looking game. The combat, I think, is really good. That end boss fight, really hard. Certainly for me, really hard. But yeah, I think I lowered it down a little bit too much. it wasn't a challenge at all this time round. But yeah, the artwork's good. I really enjoyed the story. What bits of it I managed to understand. There's a whole bunch of lore to get your head around, and weird words and stuff that they probably could have done without. You know, spelling witches in a weird way, I think, was one of them, and stuff like that. But overall, worth the money, worth the time, worth the efforts. And yeah, I'm not a reviewer. You can tell I'm not a reviewer. There's a reason I don't review stuff and I just play stuff. That's all I know. So yeah, I'm going to shut up now, let you enjoy the soundtrack, which again, that's really good. I really enjoyed that. And I'll leave you in peace for a bit and let this let these credits roll, I guess. And I'll see you again next time. Until then, folks, bye bye for now.